Fun day Sunday at a brand new park for me. So we are here today at Worlds of Fun, which is a brand new park for me. I've never been here before. It's a Cedar Fair owned property in the middle of Kansas City. And yeah, we're gonna definitely do a lot of new stuff here today because I've never been before. We're gonna spin dragons first, the spin coaster. It's actually recommended to me by someone on Facebook when I made a post on one of the theme park groups there for suggestions. So that because of low capacity, it might go down. So checking that first. And actually, I get to be a little special boy today. Because you guys saw in my last video, my arm's currently healing. I'm not saying it's injured anymore, it's almost done healing, but because I still have this kind of comfort cast on, which may restrict me on rides. And because then I actually have a boarding pass for once, which I never thought I'd do. Honestly, those of you who know me know that I worked at Kings Island for about 4 or 5 years on rides and attractions, so I've dealt with this kind of stuff on the other side. Spinning dragons go. Don't tell me that's the line. I'm actually gonna need this. But yeah, various disability passes for various things. The way this works, I'm basically gonna be able to get a time to return to these rides, which is great considering the line here already looks like it's pretty packed. But I'm just gonna treat it like a unofficial fast pass today, I guess. Let's go ahead and ride some rides. Okay, so I assumed that with the lineup towards the entrance, like I just saw, they would have given me an actual boarding time to come back later or whatever, because that's how usually that passes works. I got on right away. And I guess that just means little line, but I got on right away. And that is actually like fast passy, which is kind of cool. There it goes. Yeah, so the classic, I think one of the first Gerstlauers spinning wild mice bobsleds, whatever they're called. Comment down below if you know the exact model. But yeah, it was fun. I did solo around and still got a decent spin on it for most of the ride, so definitely recommend it. It's a spinning coaster, so let's put on the logo. Put on the count. Next up is Doggo Coaster, and first thing I can say right off the back is Cedar Fair. What happened to your theming? I mean, I know that recently they've gotten better, but this is such an old school ride. Look at this, just look. Good dogs over there. Look over bridge. This is all for old school wooden coaster that's not even bar rates very good by today's standards. Yeah, Cedar Fair, what happened to your theming? This ride looks amazing just to walk up to. Front seat, well, front car, back car on Timberwolf, the Wolf coaster over here. First of all, definitely a backseat ride. Front was a lot worse in terms of roughness and like a lack of forces and stuff, so definitely need to go towards the back and ride it. But the thing's weird when walking into K-Land, we got a better view of this part of the ride. But yeah, there's all sorts of awkward transitions on this thing, like underbank turns, kind of between the background, but there's like the second half of the rides for these hills are just like slightly lift you up, then huge drop or whatever. So really awkward transitions on this thing. Like, it's still alright. You get a couple minor pops of air time. Like I said, there's some nice lats on it, but it's just a little doggo coaster. Like it's a big drop right there. By the way, we tracked the first drop, please. That thing is rough. Alright, so this is probably going to be the biggest surprise of the day. I'm going to walk through here and show like just the barely anything you can see while the ride's open. But Cyclone Slams. First of all, this ride is not even on the map. Not in the app or anything. So like, I literally had to walk up to it to realize it was even here. Because, you know, it didn't show up anywhere and I thought it was just a building at first. Yeah, this is a indoor Tremont kind of attraction. No, I'm just walking around the building right now when you can't see the insides. And, you know, just like a bunch of other indoor attractions, they have all these cool things like fog machines. There's various projections throughout the rides, stuff painted on the walls, all that fun stuff. And it was just really, really cool. Not only that they had that, but the program on here was actually really intense. Like, there was a couple times where the lash just had me pinned to my seat. And it changed it up. It wasn't just traditional up and down or whatever. It just kept on changing. So, big recommendation for me. Do not skip over this. Indoor theme rides are always awesome. This thing was amazing. It's called Cyclone Slams, right by the entrance to Timberwolf. Definitely check this out. Up next on our list of snake-themed coasters is the Mamba. So I know that these Morgan Hypers get a lot of flack for... Yeah, they get a lot of flack for being kind of forceless compared to some of the Arrows or new models or whatever, but that was actually kind of fun. I mean, I got around front seat thanks to reasons, but yeah, I was getting like mouth flutter over each of the hills. Not too many laps in the helix. I'll see if that's any better in the back in a little bit. And yeah, like even a little ejector coming off of the mid-course. So fun to ride. I don't know if it's overlooked or whatever, but that was just a thumbs up for me. Not bad. I'll try it out later in the back. Comment down below if you know what this building used to be for. It's blocked off by a bunch of planters, which makes me think it used to be like an old attraction station or something. But I don't see any queues or whatever. And this is nestled right in between a bunch of other things. So I'm not sure. If you guys know what this used to be, let me know. Does this still count as an animal-themed roller coaster? So Scandinavian Mystic Timbers is great. This is actually like the most you're gonna get to see of the entire ride because it is all out there in the floor. Like I know it's those Timbers, those Beast Shape, whatever ride you want to say, but like this thing, like that, I'm gonna be sitting right there. That is probably the most you can see of the ride. From the park, there's no walk-arounds or anything. I'll take the train later to show you like a little bit of the layout, but yeah, this is good. Like I said, it's literally Mystic Timbers prototype, I want to say. Definitely came out before Timbers. But same kind of layout. It's got the swooping drop in the first hole right there that you're about to see go through. Then the rest is kind of like twisted out and back. So very much Mystic Timbers, except in the middle of nowhere with no way to see it. And a little twistier, I guess. It was great though, I love it, I love it. Especially a front seat ride. Definitely a front seat ride. Yet another animal themed coaster? It goes a joke at first, but gotta say though, I'm finally not feeling as bad about having an exit pass because lines are starting to fill up a little bit. 2:30 on a Sunday, so it's like kind of end of the weekend thing. Yeah, glad I could actually get shorter lines today. So I think I have like a 15-minute wait until I get on this bird. Bird coaster is actually a really interesting invert, even though it's impossible to film. This is like the most you're gonna see of the ride. World of Fun does a really good job of hiding their coasters, by the way. It's impossible to film them. But yeah, it may not be the most inverted invert. I think it's got counted like 4 inversions total on this ride, but it breaks up with all sorts of unconventional for invert things like big helices and even airtime hills. So, but not nowhere near my favorite invert, but it is a fun ride. This train's be looking like All Might though. Animal themed, not coaster. This time it's their One Seeker. Pretty badass name though. The most of Scandinavian Mystic Timbers you're gonna see. Only thing that could be better is if I actually timed a train, but we can't do that when you're riding a train. Well, at least I don't have to wait long for the credit. Two things. First of all, go figure, the one coaster to break their scheme of naming things vaguely animal related is a boomerang called Boomerang. Secondly, like, all things considered, it wasn't too bad. I mean, these things are notoriously rough, get the credit and leave, all that fun stuff, but like, it didn't shake me up too bad. Especially considering, like, this is one of the ones with lower clearance for my thing. But we got in the bag. That's all coasters done, which means now it's time to marathon all the fun stuff and take more generic footage. Got one more thing to do. I gotta do Mamba in back row, so about to do that. It's a weird looking dog. Anyone knows how to say waff. Alright, it's about 4:30. I've ridden all the coasters in front and back. Well, all that I could. I mean, I'm obviously Spain Dragon's a one car thing, and I'm only riding Boomerang once, but staying for coasters now. Feels like appropriate place to record the thing about coasters. And let's go ahead and call it. Top two rides here. Number one, not even a doubt. Front seat or just as far forward as you can on Prowler. Scandinavian Mystic Timbers, the cat coaster, we calling it all that. That thing, you guys know I love Mystic Timbers. Y'all know I love Mystic Timbers. This is the original Mystic Timbers. Like, Timbers was based off this thing, no doubt, with the way it's twisted down and back, kind of hitting the woods, all that kind of stuff. So, a little twistier, but it kind of makes up. Timbers kind of makes up for it with more theming and interacting with more rides. This is literally in the middle of the woods. You can't see it, beast style, but oh, it's a good ride, especially towards the front where it gets nice and twisty. And like that first half just slams you around everywhere. But yeah, that's number one. Number two, actually, this thing. Controversial opinion, hot take. I like Mamba. I like Mamba. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, you should do the B&M Bird Coaster, Patriot, American Eagle, whatever. It's right. Like, I like the layout, it's very unique. Like I said before, with the fact that it's kind of broken up all these airtime hills and helices, which you don't see on that kind of attraction, but it's good. At least first half of the ride. There's fluid on every single element. The laterals on the helix, and second half's kind of weak, but it's good. Like, considering how old this is and how undervalued all these not doing hypers, I just feel it's called Morgan hypers are. I like Mamba. Count me as a Mamba fan. Even with the disability exit passing, I'm still not going to be able to grab this space-themed Wacky Worm credit. But that's doing a little kid, so no kid to go surf for me today. I'm just saying, these trains look like All Might. I just realized I never included Spain Dragons in my gag of all these coasters being animal themed.
It enters it in it.
Dragons is animals. Alright, so a couple closing thoughts before I head back down to Prowler for one last ride of the night. Yeah, park is okay. Like, if I give it a numerical score, like 6.57 out of 10, I guess. I mean, you can definitely tell it's one of the weaker links in the Cedar Fair chain that doesn't really get any love anymore. But for what it is, it's not bad. Like, we got a solid top 3 in the coaster lineup. Prowler, like I said, fantastic ride. Like, I can't make it top 10 or anything, but I'll say it's like honorable because it's whatever place I put Mystic Timbers at, because Mystic Timbers clone. Patriot is fantastic. Very interesting layout, very forceful. And like I said, like, I am of the crowd that believes in the snake coaster, Mamba. Definitely could use some stuff here. There's a lot of empty land here. A lot of mobility in this park. You can see me walking around and down this hill. It's like not Holiday World level, but like there's, say you have to travel a lot to get from place to place. Yeah, I've got a lot of interesting flat rides. Some nice looking water rides. Unfortunately, I couldn't go on those right now because of this. But speaking of that, that was definitely handled very well today. That's my first time dealing with an exit pass situation from the customer's point of view. Like I said, I worked briefly at Kings Island and I've dealt with that in the past, but like workers seemed pretty attentive to it. There was maybe like 1 or 2 times where they didn't see me and I had to wait a couple cycles for them to sign the paper, but like they give you a time. I come back on that time to ride. So it's kind of like one of the old Disney style flash lanes. One of the older ones where like they give you a time, you come back on that time. It's interesting. Definitely not a fast lane, but it helps me get on rides and stuff. And they're all very accommodating. Like, I never felt any issue with this whatsoever. The only thing I was anywhere close to take was Boomerang, which, whatever, that's an old Boomerang. Yeah. World of Fun, pretty good. Not the best, but pretty not bad. They have some cool flats, they have some cool coasters. Food could use some work, they definitely could use some more things, but I'd say it's worth checking out. Definitely like to come back sometime when they have night rides, because Prowler looks like it'll be insane at night. I have one more time for 7 o'clock. So, last ride in Prowler, baby. As much as I don't want to say it, I'm born and raised at Kings Island. Mystic Timbers has ever been like one of my favorite one coasters, probably like number 2, number 3, or whatever. I think Prowler here dethroned that. Like, we've been making the comparison all day, but this thing is just wild. Like, so many share times, so many positive G's on it. This is what Mystic Timbers would be if it was more forceful. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Listen to that music. Listen to that theming. Listen to the theming. Here's a real quick look at the map just to show what I mean by saying that they have a okay lineup, but there's definitely some space here, room for improvement, and a decent coastal lineup. I mean, that's a good ride. That's a good ride. That's a really good ride. But then they also have like a Boomerang and the spinning Wild Mountain and stuff. Cool park. Yeah, thanks for visiting with me. As always, don't forget to use code SKYWARD to save you guys 15% on any of your Raise energy drinks or anything else. Well, of course, my TCG player store where I sell various card game stuff. Both of those help fund the scripts on the channel. So I go places like this and give you cool videos of roller coasters and stuff. You guys thought we were done for today? Nah, we gotta spend $4 on a kiddie coaster that's like 10 minutes away from the park. Alright, mission accomplished. I usually go over all the little attractions inside of FEC kind of places. They got, here's a zip line or whatever. But I just spent like a full day at Worlds of Fun. I'm about to make a 3-hour drive down to Branson, so it's a family fun, so you see them all. Go support your local FECs. They sometimes have cool stuff. But yeah, this time for real, always embrace the infinite. I'm wearing my Prowler hair already. Mystic Timbers, I'm sorry.